DJDUBL.
It's DJDUBL here, and today my special guest, Mercston, in the building.
Blessings, my bro. What's happening?
I'm all right, man. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you
for passing through. Do you remember your first studio session?
I remember one of them.
Okay.
I remember one of them. I think it could have been. Do you know what? I think I did a session in my brethren's house. His name's Olu. He was an actor. But he used to record and stuff. He was on the Logic and everything from early. And I think it could have been a freestyle to some sort of Busta Rhymes beat, and I thought that I'd done the coldest on there, but
yeah.
Looking back, I probably didn't. Do you know what I mean? But I definitely, the first session would have been in a bedroom. I don't think it would have been a proper studio.
Handheld mic, probably.
Yeah, some sort of stuff that, yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Like, some sort of things we was using. I guess we probably had like a sock as a pop shield, and do you know what I mean? It was just all makeshift, but we made it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's part of the journey.
So obviously, having been in grime for as long as you have been, you've been through like the era where pirate radio was a thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, clashing people was a thing, and all of the rites of passage that you have as a grime MC. Did you ever think back then when you first started you would develop into the artist that you become today? Yeah,
I kind of always felt that I would, because clashing was never really something that I was interested in doing. I'd enjoy watching people clash and listening to people clash, but I knew that wasn't for me. I'm not really one that takes good to like jokes, and do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? People they take things a bit far sometimes. So as you would know, being in the classroom, if someone says something wild, you want to react a certain way. So for me, that wasn't something that I wanted to be involved in, but I felt like making songs was probably my strong point, and an avenue I kind of explored from the start, sort of thing. So that was always the way it was going to kind of go for me. It was just obviously perfecting being able to make a song. Do you know what I mean? Like you start somewhere and then you take it wherever you take it after that. But yeah, it was always going to be like that, I think.
Did pirate radio play like a big part in your development as an artist, especially as a grime MC, like in particular?
It did, because obviously when you're in a room with people, it's a competitive sport, and you're right next to someone that might say something crazy, and you have to be able to respond, or just flow crazy, and you need to respond with a crazy flow, or your bar has to be proper on point. So I think pirate radio just made me and made others that have come from that era just be sharp at all times. Do you know what I mean? So that's the main training that I feel I took from it.
Was you ever like under pressure? Is there any situation
loads of times
you're like, oh,
loads of times.
I really got to pull it out?
Loads of times, but I feel like for me with pirate radio, it was like I'm very particular on the beats that I spit on. Yeah. So I could end up being on a set, spit once or twice, and I'm waiting because I'm not trying to spit over something that's just overly loud or whatever. And that don't come across good to the viewer or the listener. It's like, where are you? Are you actually at the set? Did you go shop? What's happening? Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just knew that I was very particular. So that's kind of like why I just felt, you know what? Let me step out of this. Let me go make my songs, because I know what I like. So if I can give them what I like, hopefully they'll like that. Do you know what I mean? And it will just be a bit more professional. Yeah. And then you can stand alone as well.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you think like the young generation of MCs now, do you think they lack the competitive edge because they haven't had to go through like the pirate radio sets, and they don't really have, there's never really any instances where they're properly under pressure like that?
Kind of yeah and then no. And the reason I'll say yeah and no is because I did a session with Kiss Rukid, Kiss Graham the other day, and then there were some MCs that came down from Birmingham. So we stayed behind to watch their session, and their session was like, they were going back to back for like half an hour. So for me, it felt like pirate radio, but they were just doing it on the Kiss platform. So I guess that there's a lot of that happening in people's areas. It might not be on pirate radio anymore, but there's still instances where it's competitive and you need to be ready right this second. Because this is getting documented in some way, shape or form. So, do you know what I mean? It's just not the same way, but it's the same.
It's evolved.
Yeah. 100.
Your consistency throughout your career means that basically everyone who knows about you and anyone who knows about our music knows that you're cold. Like, and you're held very highly within the industry.
Yeah.
Like if your name gets brought up, it's, people know the levels.
Yeah.
Like how do you feel about your position in the scene?
I feel like my position's my position maybe because there's times when I'm not consistent. Although I feel like I've probably put out a project every year and a half. I feel like my position would probably be better if the bodies of work were more like an album, for instance. Now I've dropped an album. So I've been doing this for 15 years and I've just dropped my first album.
Yeah.
So I feel like had I dropped albums previously, the conversation would probably be different in terms of positioning. So now we just start a new day. It's 2020, I give them the album and we move on from this point. So I feel like, yeah, when it comes to positioning, it's just because a lot of other people have done 5 albums. I've gave you loads of mixtapes and just one. So I'm cool, I'm alright with the position. We're gonna just work from here.
Do you regret leaving it this long for like the debut album?
I don't, because I don't think my debut album would have been better than this.
Okay.
So I'm happy, man. Things, you can't rush things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When it's that time, it's that time. And it happens to be now, so I'm cool with that.
How's the way that you make music changed over time?
I think now I'm just overly a bit more critical on certain things, and I feel that the team that I work with, they're just good musicians. It's like, do you know what? There's a difference between working with a producer and working with musicians. So you can get sent a beat and do what you do on the beat and it's all cool. You might just make a couple chops in the beat and then get it mastered and it goes out. But then when you're working with people that are musicians, they're changing instruments, they're moving this around what you're saying. It just becomes a little bit more developed. It's just more of a developed kind of way of making music. And I felt like if I had put together an album before this point, I've always been kind of like particular on what I put out and how I do put together a song. But on the journey of making the album, the people that I've worked with, I just felt like I've reached a new height. And whatever I went through, the process of making this album, I've never gone through that before.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I just feel like music's evolved. So in time, you're working with people that are better at music. They're evolving, you're evolving together. And then it's no doubt you're going to make something great.
It's interesting you say all of that because there's always the conversation nowadays of what's the difference between a mixtape and an album or an EP and all this, but I feel like with yours, there's a very clear difference.
Yeah.
Like compared to the mixtapes, which have always been good, like this is excellent. Do you know what I mean? Like sonically, this album's just, it really is an album. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no way you can be like, maybe it's a mixtape. Like it is proper solid. How did you feel leading up to the release, given that you've been, I mean, what? So let's say like you've really been Mercston for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And now it's like the debut album. So it's anticipated, bro. The fans were waiting. How did you feel?
How did I feel? I felt positive all the way up.
Yeah.
Until the last moment, but I think.
What last moment, like, as in release day or everything
so
was
like
done?
five hours before the actual album was being released. But I think this is partly because we had a launch party the same day.
Right.
But I felt something that I've never felt before. And then I was talking to my manager and I'm like, what is this? I had some pain in my stomach, right? I'm like, what is this, bro? He's like, you're anxious, bro. It's anxiety. Right. But I'm like, I've never had this before. So I experienced a little bit of anxiety. But I think it was more because now the world's going to hear this album that everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah.
I know it's cold. But at the same time, it's like now you're opening it up for people to talk back to you and tell you. And then the album's called Top Tier. I'm happy it's called Top Tier. I know the music's top tier. I know everyone involved is top tier. But now people can have an opinion on it. Yeah. Do you know, there's just loads of things that go through your mind. But I feel good, man. Yeah. I feel good and I feel like, yeah, it was time to do what we did. And an album is definitely a completely different thing to a mixtape. And we wanted to make sure that was shown. Do you know what I mean? So the last 3 projects was like the Back to 95 trilogies. And then I think before that we had E-Class, which was 2012. So there's a clear difference. There had to be a clear difference. Yeah. Like if this is an album, I want to give you different styles that I've jumped on and produced over the years in the best form possible. And yeah, I think we executed that, man. So
I'd agree, man. Like I think after listening to it, I didn't then question, well, why is it called Top Tier? Yeah. This is going to be in the top run-ins. When the conversation comes, this is going to be up there.
And that's what it was more about for me.
Yeah.
That's what it was more about for me. As you understand, you know I've been doing it for a very long time. So to be doing it for the length of time I've been doing it, and then it's like, all right, cool, it's album time, but then there's so many other people that are dropping that are newer.
Yeah.
And might be more popular or whatever. It's like, all right, when you drop this, what mark are you going to leave? What are people going to be talking about? What's the conversation? And the conversation's exactly what I wanted the conversation to be.
So you're happy with the reception?
Yeah, 100%. Because I knew it would be what it is, but it's good for you to hear what it is and see the reactions of other people. And then we just press on.
So the track Top Tier on the album,
Yeah.
obviously Devlin and Ghetts. So please tell me that when you recorded this, the three of you were together.
Nah, it weren't like that.
No, I had pictures of the studio session and everything.
I was there with obviously them both laying their verses, but we all laid verses at different times. So
right, so you were there when Ghetts did and you were there when Devlin
exactly.
did, but just not all three.
Yeah, none of us were together. And it probably, if we were all together, I don't know how it would have been, man. Would it have been harder? I don't know. But everyone knew that they had to step up and deliver. It's like 64 bars each.
Yeah.
I think Devlin's might even be a little bit longer. He might even have just taken it somewhere else. But everyone knew what they came to do. And with the track being called Top Tier and it being the title track for the album, I just think, no one was trying to take it L.
The bar was set very high, bro. Did you have the name for the track before you recorded?
It's mad, like the tune actually started somewhere else. So the tune was a Scorcher tune before.
Right.
So mad, it's a mad story. So it was a Scorcher tune before. I wrote my verses off of the back of what Scorcher had did.
Okay.
And then Ghetts was meant to jump on it. Wasn't sure at the time. We wanted to do something a bit more lively for the album. Time passed. Then it was like, yo, let me jump on that tune. Then Scorcher's back about, he wanted to use the tune by himself. So then it was like, all right, cool, now we've got the Mercs verse, we've got the Ghetts verse.
Yeah.
The song was kind of built up around what Scorch did. Cool. So now we're going to call this Top Tier. This is the rap, the song title for this tune, but I don't want to put this song out with just me and you. Who do we put on it? Has to be Devlin. Movement, boom, let's go. So that's kind of how it comes. So my verse is 2017. Yeah. Ghetts' verse is 20.
Oh, you did your verse in
my
2017?
Verse is 2017, bro.
Right, okay.
And then Ghetts' verse is 2019 early.
Right.
And then Dev's was like just before we was wrapping up.
Right,
so
okay.
I think Dev's probably come in like July.
And then what happened to Scorcher on the song?
Scorcher ended up releasing his song by himself.
Right, okay.
Because he just come out, I guess he wanted to just have his own bars.
So he has a version of that instrumental?
He has a verse. Nah, so this is the mad thing. My part of the instrumental and Ghetts' part of the instrumental was built by Dot Inc., my team. Yeah. And Scorcher's part's on Pepstar's tune. Okay. But it made sense before when it was me, Scorcher and Ghetts, just because the song's so long. So it was nice to have a little bit of a difference in the middle section of it. It didn't sound like a chopped song. Right. It's cool, man. Yeah. Okay. It worked out well. So everything's out. So basically that song wouldn't have come if Scorcher wasn't involved in the first place. Right. Because a lot of the flows that I used or what Ghetts had used, we got that from Scorcher's verse. You got that energy off of what Scorcher did in the first place. So even though he's not on the album, he helped create something that's on the album that's going off. So is there a reason he's not on the album? Because that's something the fans picked up on. Is like every member of the movement's there. There's a reason, and those reasons need to be discussed by other people, not by myself. But yeah, he just felt like, you know what, I just want to step over it. I want to do my own thing for now. So I had to respect that and let him go and do his own thing. So he released it. The song's out. It's doing quite well. Okay, so effectively he decided to step off the album. Yeah. As opposed to you being like... Not even off the album, just off the track. He just said, you know what, let me just release the song by myself. Got you. It wasn't even take me off. It was just like, can I just release it by myself? Because remember, the song was done before I took it. I just added to it. So what, if you put your verse down in 2017, when did he make the song? He done his, I guess, just before he went away, which would have been 2016 or the start of 2017. Right. Do you know what I mean? So the song was sitting there for ages. And that's mad because it doesn't sound like an old song. And obviously that's not old, but in terms of how quickly music moves, that could sound dated very quickly, but it doesn't. It still sounds like a current record. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's mad because the verse that he has, he's released it, and I guess everyone would think that he's done this since he's been home, but he did that from before. From early. Yeah. Right. But music, man. You can make timeless music. When Ghetts and Devs put their tracks down, did it make you feel a way to be like, I wanted to do my verse again? You did, yeah. Yeah, but not again like that. I wanted to maybe change the way I delivered, or I might have wanted to add a little bit. Yeah. Because like I said, I've told them all to do 64 bars, but I think Dev's done way more. Yeah. He's in the middle. So I'm like, maybe I need an extra 8. And then Ghetts did something at the end of his bar, and it's like, how didn't I clock that I needed to do something like that? So I need that extra thing, but it's like, bro, you've done your verse, leave it. If you change your verse, you're cheating.
It's cheating, yeah.
So I had to leave it. So it's cool though. As I said, it worked out nice, man. It's like, I felt like for the culture, it was good to give it to them, and I feel like a lot of people wanted to hear us together. And if they do hear us together, they wouldn't even want to have a chorus. They just want to hear back-to-back bars. So I feel like we delivered them what they would have wanted to hear.
Yeah. No Banter was a good track.
Yeah.
Tell me about the video shoot, first of all. Where did you shoot the video?
We was in the French Alps for that.
Okay.
Yeah, we was in the French Alps for that. That was something that we planned from like before. It's like, yeah, we sat down, we had the song, and it was like, cool, if I shoot this song, I don't know where I want to go, but it's like some people hear it as a song that sounds like it's got a summer vibe. But me and my manager like, let's spin this. For us to get the traction that we want to get, let's just spin this completely. Yeah. And we'll just go and be in the snow. Yeah.
I like that though, because I feel like going somewhere like in the Caribbean or going somewhere sunny on the beach, like it's too obvious.
It's obvious, but it just had that feel.
It would work.
But it wouldn't, I don't think it would have had the impact that it had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for like visually, because you got to understand, man, a lot of people drop videos daily. There's so much videos to watch, and a lot of videos do look similar. Yeah. Especially like,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
They're going to be on the block or they're going to be abroad, but I guess that directors are watching other directors or whatever, and everything just kind of looks similar. So it's like, if we're going to drop this, it needs to be completely different, somehow, way, shape or form. Yeah. And the snow just helped us out, man.
Can you ski?
I can't ski, mate.
Can you snowboard?
That was the first time I ever went skiing.
Is it? Is that why? Because there's no footage of you actually skiing, is
there? Just a slide 2-3 seconds.
Right, I didn't see it. I clocked Wretch with the skis.
Yeah,
he didn't look too bad, to be fair.
He fell over badly. I had it on my Insta, but I took it down after a while. But how it was is like, obviously you go up in these trams or whatever, you get up the top, and then you got to remember where we're shooting the video. By the time you go down once, you've got to go all the way around to get back up. So it was taking quite long. So we only did that like maybe 2-3 times, and then we had to just wrap it up, sort of thing. Yeah. But it was a good experience, man. Yeah.
Would you go again? Would you go skiing again?
Yeah, I actually.
Did you get all right at it at the end? Nah, don't worry, it's fine.
I was all right.
I don't judge you, bro.
Not all right. I was getting there. I was getting there. I don't think that I would have put up any proper footage by myself. Do you know what I mean? But I was getting there. Give me an hour or 2 next time I go, and I'll be sweet.
Yeah. It takes a couple of days, but once I find like it's with snowboarding, once you got it, like it's easy.
But bruv, when you fall down, getting up is a nightmare, bruv. Yeah. Imagine you fall down and you've got like.
I've never done skiing.
Your feet are about a size 30, bruv. So you can't get up. You can't get up, bruv. It was peak, but I did really enjoy the experience.
I want to see the extra footage now.
There is. It is
scrambling
somewhere
around on the floor.
It is somewhere, man. It is somewhere. I'll get the outtakes for you.
That style of song, it's obviously very melodic. Yeah. Did you ever think, again, like at the start of your career, did you ever think you could release a song like this and still be accepted?
Do you know what's mad? I feel like, yeah, and I say that because on my first mixtape, I was always singing. Okay. I just wasn't great at it. But I would always try that styly, but it was like more of a banter thing. So like I had like covers of like, I think Khalees and Andre 3000 had a tune, The Millionaire. Yeah. So I had a cover of that. I would always try and do little stylies, but they just might not have connected how I would have wanted them to connect. So then again, like the more you do music, the more you work with different people, the more you perfect your craft, you know what I mean? You just start trying different sounds and the level changes. Do you know what I mean? So when I came up with No Banter, remember I'm not even really doing that much of a melody on there. Yeah. It's more Wretch than me. But I feel like I had the verse first. So once I showed it to him, he instantly wanted to do a melody thing on there. And then we just kind of worked off of each other doing that. So it was all cool. People seeing the title, Wretch and Mercs, No Banter, I know that they didn't expect that. Nah. But I knew that they would like what we gave them. And that's cool, man. I feel like when you've been doing music the length of time that we've been doing it, I don't want to drop things and you know what it's going to sound like.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? I want it to be whatever and you just like it anyway. And yeah, man, that tune really did something for us.
I think it makes more of an impact being unexpected.
Of course.
And it gives the song more of a shelf life as well, because looking at that, Mercs, Wretch, No Banter, just off the title, you're going to think like possibly like a 140 and it's going to be like back to back.
Yeah.
Possibly like ripping each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that, just kind of bantery, like going against each other, but it's the complete opposite.
Yeah,
I think that gives it more of a shelf life because it's like, oh, okay, like
it's a straight vibe tune.
Yeah, 100%.
Straight vibe tune. So now I'm glad that we was able to give them something that they didn't expect from us, and it got the reception that it did. So now it was a good choice to put that out.
More straight vibes in bathrobe,
Yeah,
like a proper dancehall.
but
tune.
imagine Bathrobe was probably recorded before No
Okay.
Banter. This is what I'm saying. So the album was
How
sitting
long
on
was
music.
this process? So like 2017 was your top tier
process-
verse.
the
Have you got
process-
stuff preceding that.
Yes, it's like some songs on there. Mercston, for instance, that was made 2016.
Okay.
It was one of them ones where when we started recording, we didn't have the plan of saying we're going to record an album. We're recording. Then it's like, okay, all right, we're going to do a mixtape. We've got a lot of music. What we're going to do? And I spoke to one of my mates and he was like, do you know what, bro? You've got to put together your best body of work and just make it be an album. So say if I've got like 5 singing tunes, I've got couple dancehall, I've got couple this, couple that. It's like, all right, if you've got more than 2, you need to get the best 2.
Right.
Keep them.
Yeah.
Put together this album. So it was kind of hard to get rid of some songs that I thought should have made it. But in the end, I think that we made the right decision with the songs that are on there.
It was like putting together a greatest hits.
Yeah, but it's still difficult, man, because I feel like there's
I can
some
imagine.
songs that could be. Yeah, so basically the process of making your album, right? So imagine now you've got your mixes back, right? But when you get a song mastered, it makes a big difference.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So sometimes it's like we had to stop at the stage where, you know what, cool, we've got this master, this sounds great. This one might not sound like that. Because really, you need to be able to get a certain feeling from just the mix. Sometimes I'm holding on to things just because I feel attached to it, but other people will be like, you know what, nah, bro, that one's better. So from you get like maybe 4, 5, 6 people saying the same thing, you kind of have to kind of go with it, especially if those are people that you trust their judgment
Yeah,
on
definitely.
putting things together. So yeah, I never had to be so intricate with putting a project out. Usually when I'd record, I don't usually record over. I record what I need, I put it out.
Right.
But this time, we had a lot of music to choose from.
Right.
Yeah, man.
When it comes to making tunes like Bathrobe, for example, when you're writing a song like that that's more melodic, how different is the process to writing something like a verse for Top Tier or...
It's much easier, bro.
Wait, you find the melodic stuff easier?
Yeah, it's much easier.
What's your process?
Literally, I'll sort of like hum and voice note sounds of a styley into my phone, and then come up with the words after.
Right.
But it's pretty simple, bruv. Like, yeah, I feel like if you put on any beat right now, I'll get some sort of melody to it, and then if the melody sounds strong enough, I'll piece together words.
Okay.
So it's quite easy, man. But like with a song like Bathrobe, when you're actually in the studio doing it, you don't even have to voice note or really write them down. The mic's right there, so you can just jump on.
Is that how that one
yeah, like
works?
that
You
one
just
was,
put the instrumental on and just
yeah,
made it there?
and the reason that one was really good as well is because yours truly made that beat, and that was the first session that we did.
Right.
So I felt like I wasn't really stepping out of my comfort zone at that time. I was just working with my team only. So when I went to that session, we played each other music, and it's like we were kind of making similar sounding music at that time. So it was easy to be like, okay, cool, let's work, let's start this tune. So the first tune they started, we just connected over it. The session was quite long, but the music was made very fast though.
Right.
Like we were in there vibing, drinking, eating and that, like more than actually working, because the work was like snappy.
Right.
Do you
More
know
than
what I
one
mean?
song?
We know that one song that we made that song, say we was in the studio for like, I don't know, 7 hours. That song was probably made in like 2.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? There's just
So
a lot
that
of
whole
chatting,
session was set
banter,
right, got
yeah, do you know what I mean? So melodies, that's like light work, man.
You're making it easy, yeah.
No, that's like, because it's just vibes. Like when you get a good vibe and you're working with good people and there's good energy, it's pretty easy to finish the track.
That's dope that you can have that connection just from the jump, like just
Yeah, it
chilling
doesn't
and
always
vibing and
happen,
yeah, of
but
course.
when it happens, it's magic. Do you know what I mean?
You mentioned Merc Skinner.
Yeah.
Obviously a song inspired by the streets.
Yeah.
First time I was listening through the album, I make a point most of the time of not looking through the track list.
Okay.
Because I'd kind of just like to listen and then just no expectations that way, and then I just have stuff, do you know what I mean? So when I was listening to it, I can't remember what I was doing. I had another window on my laptop open. I was just listening through the album, doing something else. And then I heard it, and straight away I knew, like, So I didn't know the title name. I didn't know it was Merc
But you
Skinner.
just felt that.
And I heard straight away, I was like, this has something to do with the streets right here. So I clicked on and saw it was called Merc Skinner, and obviously the connection was properly made. So like, what did the streets do for you as a young MC?
It's mad because I felt like the streets were just completely left to what was going on. And I liked the way that Mike Skinner would put stories together, but it's like it was comedic in a certain sense. Sometimes there were some serious ones, but it was comedic, and the way they put their visuals together with it, it's like you could, even if you didn't see the visual, and you heard the audio, you could picture yourself being wherever this is that he's talking about. Do you know what I mean? But I just like the style that he brought to what was going on at the time. And he obviously was getting artists that are from our scene involved in the music, and it was still sounding cold and not forced. Like, it sounded like properly put together. So when I heard this song in particular, it happened by accident. It wasn't something that I really thought of before I started writing. But when I put the beat on, it originally had a Erykah Badu sample on there.
Okay.
I think the sample was What a Day, What a Day. So that's why I started talking about a day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I feel like from the first line, I actually was ironing when I wrote that line, but I said it in a geezer way. And I'm just there, and then I got the next line. And it was like, hold on, I can actually tell a story here. Who tells stories, and why is the story coming together like this? Mike Skinner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I just ran with it, and it's like different experiences that I've been in, other people have been in, everyone's been to, you know what I mean? You go to a party, you go to the toilet, the geezer wants a pound or two for some chewing gum or a little spray. Do you know what I mean? So I just wanted to just say some things that was relatable to everybody, but have a laugh at the same time. I think it worked out.
I like it. I like storytelling rap. That's one of my favorite styles of rap to just listen to. Do you know what I mean? When someone can tell a story well, like, there's a few things better in rap, bro, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like,
but you know, like, a lot of the time when people will tell a story, it could be something deep.
Usually is. Or like a dramatic story from the roads or something like that.
I didn't want it to be like that. I wanted it to be like, this is a day, it's just playful. And like, I've been through that. Like, I get drunk, and then some girls that maybe I think are 10 today, it might not be, really, because it happens. So I just wanted to, like I said, just make something that's relatable to a big audience. And like, that's been a favourite from the album.
I like it, bro. What happened to the sample? Was it just sample clearance?
Do you know what it is? It was like, do you know what? I was thinking, we possibly might not get this cleared. And for the time we're trying to bring this album out, because we kept pushing it back, I was thinking, let's not go down that lane. Let's just get more creative and see what we can put together. And I think that we ended up making the song better. Because we ended up putting some samples in it that we could use. And I got Cherry V to do some backing vocals as well, and then we kind of made her sound like a sample. So it's just all original production now, so it works really well.
You don't have to split any publishing.
No.
A win-win. Did you ever think to reach out to Mike for like a feature for that, or?
Yeah, I think I actually might have. I think I did.
Okay.
My man, because I'm kind of like, reaching out's not really my thing. Like, I'm not really, but I'm not really like that. And maybe I should be. I think everyone should ask questions if they want to. So yeah, my manager was like, just hit him. And I said, all right, cool. I DM'd him. I didn't get a response, but it's calm.
Yeah.
And I think probably since then, a lot of people have probably put the song his way. He's probably heard
it's probably on his radar.
He probably heard the song. But my thing, I don't even think it was more for a feature for me. It was more like, I feel like we're going to shoot a visual to it, and it would be sick if he was able to play some sort of character in the visual.
Just a cameo somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't really for a feature for me. Like, my manager was like, oh, it would be good for a verse. I said, yeah, but the song's finished though.
Yeah.
And the song's quite long already.
Yeah,
How can he get in and break the story up? It wouldn't really work. So maybe if there was ever a remix, that would be cold. But for me, him being involved in the visual, it's like, that'd be the icing on the cake.
That'd be enough, bro. I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, that was more of the reach out for me. Like, this is what I've done. Boom, boom, boom. This would be sick, but who knows? Yeah,
no, that's a good idea. I like that. A little cameo. Yeah, look out for that video, man, definitely. Stone Love is a personal favourite. Like, it's another proper hard song. Tell me about the process of making that. Did you have the song and then think, Giggs needs to be on this, or were you together and you built a song from scratch?
I had the song and I felt like he needed to be on it. So when I actually finished recording my parts for the song, because I never really spit that slow, but I felt like the style I adopted was influenced by the style that Giggs has. So when I put it together, I'm like, you know, like when I was like, peas up my hands, peas over soldiers.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
kind of like a Giggs sort of style. So when I put it all together, I was thinking, Giggs will sound sick on this. But I made that quite early on. So at the start of me making things, I wasn't reaching out for people to do features as yet.
Right.
I was just thinking, let me just create the rest of this body of this work, compile it all up, and then we can start asking questions. Maybe in future I might not work the same way because a lot of things was delayed this way.
Right.
It's because
Waiting on other people's schedule that way,
if
huh?
I'm trying to release the album, let's say August, and I'm asking for the verse in the start of July, people are busy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This has got to come back, then it's got to get mixed, then it's got to get mastered, then it's got to... So now I'd
It's
work a
long
little
process.
bit differently with it. But yeah, that song was made and then parked to the side. And then it was just like, at the end, it was like, okay, cool. This album's complete. But now we've got space for features. Who are the correct features to get? After having different conversations. I knew Giggs, I had Giggs in mind anyway. But I think I remember talking to Wretch and he's like, who you got on there? I told him. And he's like, cool, you got any other songs that you had space for? I said, you know what, I had this song that I was going to hit up Giggs about. He's like, hit him up now, shout me back. And sort of just came off the phone.
Yeah.
So I hit him up, and then yeah, Giggs, I sent it to him. And then it was mad because he actually, I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks, yeah?
Right.
He's my guy, but I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. And he was like, yo, that file that you sent me didn't work.
Right.
Send it again. So I sent it again. And then once he heard it, he was saying back some of the lyrics to me. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. It's just the time-wise now, like to get it done. But I knew, do you know what? There's no rush to put the album out. And I felt like I didn't want to put the album, not that I was waiting for him because we didn't get to do the whole mastering. Everything just kind of took long anyway. There was definitely a process to it. But I just felt like out of there being a week or two difference at the time when we was going to bring it out in August, I felt like I will wait that time for this verse. Bro.
Yeah, definitely.
This verse is going to be mad. And he definitely delivered on there. So that's how that come together. But I went to his studio whilst he recorded his verse.
Right.
It's just mine was done beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like he's killing it with the features at the moment. Like,
of course,
he's going hard again. Like it's,
of course, man.
and this one again was just, when I heard it,
Mad, bro.
crazy.
Mad.
What I love about your features on there, and tell me if you did this intentionally. You've got someone from north, east, south, and west.
No, I didn't even look at it
You've
like
covered every part.
that. I didn't even look at it like that, you know?
Not intentional.
Nah, not at all. My thing's just more about the sound of how things are put together. And
Yeah.
obviously, like, I rate Western a lot. Do you know what I'm saying? I rate them a lot. Hailey's doing the backing vocals on that track as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's doing backing vocals like throughout the whole track. Giggs, cold. Blade, cold. You know what I mean? Geordie, Pep, cold. Everybody involved in the album is cold. Producers, backing vocalists, singers, everyone, man. So again, going back to it being called top tier, it wasn't even just a statement for myself to feel like
You have
I'm
the
all
top
this.
tier
Yeah,
there.
I just felt like everybody involved in this, like regardless of their status, is top tier in their field. Like, I don't care if you don't know them yet. When you do know these people, you're gonna understand their top tier. Do you know what I'm saying?
Who's your favourite feature?
My favourite feature is probably the Geordie and Pep song. That's
Okay.
called T's and C's. The song just gives me a different energy when I listen to it. Do you know what I mean? So that's my favourite track to listen to. But going back to like what you said, like with the whole being in the studio and having the energy together, going back to back, the only song that we had the only song that had that vibe was the Blade track.
Okay.
But it's mad.
You made
because
that together from
we
scratch?
made that together, but we made it on a different track. So that kind of song came about it came about in a way where he's like, bruv, you're not that cold, bruv. I'm like, you're not that cold. All right, cool, let's go studio today and let's see who does the coldest verse.
Yeah.
We're going to do one slow tune, we're going to do one fast tune. So we've gone studio. We only ended up making the one tune that day. So his verse was what his verse was, my verse was what my verse was. Not us going at each other, but we're just having a little banter. The chorus was different, the beat was different. And then the song ended up coming back to me a year later because I didn't realize that the engineer on the day is actually a producer.
Right.
So I sent a tweet out that day asking for some bangers, and then I got sent that back. So when I'm playing the song, I'm like, rah, this sounds familiar, but I didn't spit to this tune though.
Right.
there's no way I spat to this tune. Then he explained it, nah, spread your vocals up, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then from then I thought, you know what, I actually can make this Blade song into a song that could make it onto the album potentially.
Yeah.
When you're kind of in your own realm, putting together your own project, and sometimes time's of the essence, it's like you need to get the body of the work done before you start saying, boom, 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 boom. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Putting together the album was cold, but that is the only one that I get that people would like to be like, how was it? What was it like? Oh my God, was there? That was like that. Yeah. Everything else was like, it was done, come and do your verse.
There's a track on there called Jess, which is, it's a strange situation because it's such a great moment on the album. And again, like for me, as someone who likes listening to people articulate stories and emotions and stuff, like for me listening to it, it's a great record. But obviously for you, this is probably like one of the hardest times in your life.
1000%.
So recording this kind of song, like how does it feel to you to make this kind of record?
Bro, to be honest with you, it's probably it's the hardest song I've ever recorded.
Yeah.
But it's like, when I wrote the song, the emotions you hear on the song when you listen to it are the emotions that I had when I was actually penning it and putting it together.
Right.
Then I remember going to the studio to record my verse. So I think that the take that you hear, because my voice starts going in and out a bit, that is my first take. Right, so I tried to perfect the take, and they're like, no, you gotta leave it. This is the raw take. This is what it needs to be. So I had to leave it, but it's like it was difficult because whilst recording it, you actually are understanding and processing that this is a real situation that you're talking about. I'm putting together a song from my friend that's told me, she told me, you better make sure you make a song for me. Yeah. So doing the song, I was always gonna do it, even if she told me to or not, but it was nice to be able to put it together. But now I'm in the studio talking about her, but I can't talk to her. But she was just here the other day. So it's like, that going through my mind, and it's like it was a difficult experience, but then it got worse. So imagine doing the song, putting the song to the side, knowing that we need to do whatever we need to do to make it complete. And I remember like at the last, let's say that we had 2 more months left of like mixing and just doing little tweaks on the tracks. But I was like to the team, this song's amazing, but I don't think that it taps into the like when I listen to it, I want the audience to listen to it and feel some different types of emotions every time. Not every time, but on listening to it for the first time. What I felt when I was writing it, I want people to feel that when they listen to it, and they can relate that to their own situations. Because there's a lot of people that know Jess, but a lot of people have stopped me and said, you know what? I feel like I know her through you, or I feel like I know her through the song What Gets Made for her previously. So I went to the session and they stripped back the production and made it more pianos and less about moving your head to it. Just listen to the words, but there's something that's with it. The music makes it sound more beautiful, but it's not a song to dance to. It's not a, you know? So once that was done, I remember walking into the session and breaking down, bro. I had to leave the session. And it's like, it was uncontrollable breakdown. I came out and imagine stepping outside here, but you can still hear the music playing. Right. So I'm trying to get myself right and go back in, but I can still hear the music. So it's at the end, like it was really bad because I remember sending the song to her parents beforehand and they was like really proud and happy that I did it. And obviously I'm keeping their daughter's name alive, so they love me unconditionally anyway, but that is just like, thank you for this. So when I've sent them the new version, it's different because now the voice notes are on there. Right, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Her dad was there when she voice noted me that. So he hasn't heard this voice note for ages. Then he hears it on this song that's made for his daughter. Yeah, man. It was very difficult, bro. Emotional music, bro. It was really interesting to hear your take on it after hearing Ghetts' version. Yeah. Because Ghetts obviously did it from her perspective. And I saw the video that he did. Yeah. That it almost looked like she had a huge part in making Ghetts' version of the song. So to hear her story through Ghetts' voice and then your perspective, like your angle on it was like, it's interesting. I mean, because I didn't know her, I don't have the emotional attachment, but I still felt the emotion through the songs, you know what I mean? And so that's exactly how I needed it to be. It's like, I was like, if we put the song out and people listen to it and they don't feel that from it, we've not done the job properly.
Yeah.
So I needed to mix up. When I felt it again, and like I said, I dropped tears. Bearing in mind I'd made this song from before, so I'd listened to it many times.
Yeah.
When I heard it how it was finished, I knew that the job was done correctly.
With these kind of songs, because of, I mean, I guess it might be different because of the way you've explained you recorded it. Obviously, in traditional sense, like a lot of artists will go in, lay it down, then go over the vocals again, then perfect it, do the ad-libs and go over and over and over.
Yeah.
And you just hear it constantly.
Yeah.
So with this track, like, are you kind of desensitized to the emotion of it now because you might have heard it so many times, or is it just still as raw as the first time?
It's not something I can really listen to.
Right.
Not really, because there's different days, man. I feel different on different days. So there's times when I'll think of my friend Jess that passed, and I can smile and be like, like there could be something I'm doing today, and she might have told me, don't do this or do this. You're mad, whatever, and then I can just think of how she would have been and how she would have addressed me, and it can make me smile. Mm-hmm. But on a different day, it can make me sad.
Right.
I could drive past her house and I can't stop there, and I'll just be sad. So it just depends, man. But it's not a song that I run to listen to, I tell you that.
No, of course. It had a very, do you remember Sway's album, and he had a record called Pray for Kaya?
Yeah, I think.
It reminded me of that. It's very similar tone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had a girl that, a female friend of his that died. I think she died in a car accident.
Yes.
A lot of people knew her in the industry.
Yes, I remember.
I was too young, so I never knew her.
Yeah.
But when I heard this, it was like the Pray for Kaya moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, funnily enough, that was one of my favorite Sway records from.
So you like when people tap in to...
Yeah, man, it's the storytelling side, but also when it's like real life stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, road rap's cool, but I'm not from the streets, so I'm not about. But it's like,
I know what you mean.
I've had friends that have passed away, so when I hear, do you know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Substance is very important, very important, and I just felt like on an album as well. This is not a single. This is not just a little throwaway EP. This is an album. So I got to take you on a journey of happy times, and I'm gonna take you through some sad times as well. Like, cause that at the end of the day, I think sometimes people look at musicians as if they're not human.
Yeah.
We all feel the same things as everybody else. We're all human. Do you know what I mean? So today you could be up, so tomorrow you're down.
Yeah.
Today you've gone through this, tomorrow it's like this. But I think it's important to be able to speak on things because it shows that you're human as well, and then it can also. It helps people to be able to connect with you more.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Who's the girl that sings on the track?
That's Lilo Gold.
Okay, I've not heard of her.
Yeah, she absolutely, yeah.
She did the bits, man. She did the job.
And I'm really happy with what she did on there, man. Really happy with what she did on there. And then I got AL doing some backing vocals. I got Ruben doing backing vocals. Mel, it's like Mike Keys doing the keys. Everybody involved in that tune, they don't understand how much I appreciate them.
Yeah.
Because it's something, like I said, I was asked to do. I knew I'd do it. I didn't know how it was going to sound when I did it. And everybody involved that lent a hand is part of the reason as to why it sounds how it sounds. And I just felt like to present that to her parents before giving it to the world, I had to get that okay from her parents. So to see how they felt about it, although it was hard to listen to, they liked it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can put this out. It's cool. You know what I mean? So that made me happy, man.
It's a great track, bro. It really is.
Thank you.
I always ask everybody about ultimate collaboration. So any artist from any genre ever, dead or alive, who would you most like to do a record with?
Bob Marley.
Bro, that's the most common answer, like, not in a bad way, but...
But the reason I say that is because, he passed away before I was born.
Yeah, same.
Right? So I never got to see him anywhere. But the way his music, like, I don't know if there's any other musician and their music living on how it has through so many different generations, and the feeling that people get from the message. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's different type of, Different type
100%.
of, different, completely. His thing is so separate from everybody else.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But if there was somebody, I would say Bob Marley. I don't know what I'd come up with, what kind of styly tune this would be. But I would like to have been able to have that opportunity to do something like that.
With grime roots being embedded in reggae as well, it's not like, they're not worlds apart, bro.
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Could sound good.
For real, man.
You have to work on getting that Bob Marley clearance now. You have to figure out what it is and get the sample clearance.
That'd be mad, though.
Is it going to be a tour or just like a headline show?
So we're going to do a tour.
Okay.
I guess we're going to do probably 3-4 dates. And as it stands, it's looking like it's going to be sometime in May.
Okay, nice.
We're just sort of finalising now, so
yeah,
it's definitely happening.
Can you confirm the cities or the places yet, or are you waiting for like an announcement?
It's probably going to be Manny, Birmingham, London.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But we might add 2 more. Birmingham might change to something else.
Right.
But we're sort of nearly there. Do you know what I mean? So
it.
yeah, it's definitely going to be happening over the summer.
Obviously, you'll probably announce it on your Insta or something, right?
Very soon as well.
Very soon.
Yeah.
I like
very
that energy.
soon, man. Like very soon, bro. Very soon. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to take this on the road, man. Making the album was a long process, difficult at times. So I feel like it'll be nice to be able to take the team that I worked with as well on the road, so they can see everything. And just for us to see the fans enjoying it and the supporters enjoying it as we did making it at times. Do you know what I mean? Again, when I'm saying it's difficult, there's times when you're in the studio and you're not agreeing on certain things. In the end, you get the best result, but whilst you're in it, everyone's so passionate about what we're passionate about. We all just want to have the best result, but you have different opinions.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, taking it on the road, yeah. I can't wait, bruv.
I can see the excitement, man.
I can't wait, bruv. Honestly, I can't wait.
Sick.
Can't wait.
Well, you've definitely, I feel like you've 100% started 2020 the correct way, bro.
Yeah.
You kicked the doors down nicely.
Yeah.
Dropping the album in January and like just letting it live for the...
I'm happy because we almost dropped the album in November, bro.
Right.
Yeah? And sitting here with you today, that would have been the worst decision.
I think so. There's something weird about New Year. It's like anything made or dropped before, even something can drop on like Christmas Day or Boxing Day,
it can get
or even
forgotten.
New Year's Eve, and really like
yes,
it kind of doesn't live on,
and
does
you know
it?
what
Do you know
else
what I
as
mean?
well?
Like,
It's not even just about it being a new year; it's a new decade.
Yeah.
So like, it's like January was the perfect time. If I could have did it January 1st, I would have.
Right.
No one's back from work yet.
Yeah,
no one's back from no one's back from their Christmas break, so we had to wait. I didn't want it to be on the 24th. It's like, all right, cool. So we want to drop a song. When can we drop it? Because we want to drop a song before we drop the album. First week can't do it. Second week can't do it. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's just go to the end of January. But
Yeah.
I think where it dropped, the day it dropped, it was nice because it dropped on the day of other people dropping albums. J Hush dropped his album. M Honcho dropped his album. So I just think it's a good time in UK music.
What I really think is good is like yours didn't get buried. It could have easily, like so easily been overlooked. M Hunter and J Huss,
I know.
That's 2 massive projects.
Yeah, I know.
And so it could have been, and the way that people consume music now, it could have been like, oh, I've listened to those 2. What's dropping next week?
Yeah.
But
I didn't go like that.
I like it because yours really came into the conversation. So, and I think it helped because there's now comparisons with you and another 2 top tier artists.
Yeah.
It's bringing the conversation
For sure.
together, so.
And it's mad because obviously I wasn't aware they was dropping. Everyone's doing their own thing. So when I've seen it drop and other people are dropping, this is actually good.
Yeah.
Because you're right, like you said, people can do comparing and whatever. I knew mine weren't going to get buried I knew it weren't going to be like that because I knew what we gave them. But it's just nice for people that maybe don't usually listen to me to be like, let me give this a go. And then be honest with what they've heard and be like, you know what? Actually, my man's cop. You know what I'm saying? So I think, again, it just dropped at the right time. And you can plan. It's weird. You can plan, but you shouldn't plan so much. But it being pushed back to where it got pushed back to, it just ended up working out perfect, man.
So everything for a reason, bro.
Yeah, you got to just leave things to happen sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing like what the rest of the year's holding, man. Like, I'm definitely going to be buying a tour ticket. Like, I'll come to one of the dates without a doubt, man. Definitely. So
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, bro. Thanks for passing through.
It's love, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me down here, man.
DJDUBL with Mercston.